everyone. Good evening to you. Thank you so much for staying with us here on NTV. You know what time it is. It is about time we bring you thought-provoking discussions here on the CS show, the Classy and the Sassy show. I need to remind you to go onto social media on Facebook at North Television GH. You can watch us live on the go, and you can also get interactive with us on there as well. This show is live on Facebook at the CS show. You can get interactive with us. You know, if you have any issue at all, you can reach out to us, send us a DM, and you can see how much of help we can be for you. And this evening, I have with me a lawyer in the house. You know why? Because it is time we talk about things that are happening around us, and one of the things that are happening is extortion, blackmail, and also fraud. Yes, as well as fraud. So these are the areas we're looking at tonight. For those of you who you just do not know what the future holds, and so you could be blackmailed anytime. You know, it may not be your fault at all. You can be extra careful on how you go about your information on your phone, your device, whatever it is. But some people can still get hold of information and use it against you. So tonight we're talking blackmail, we're talking fraud, we're talking extortion as well with lawyer Rauf Khalid. Yeah, I think I did well, right? I did well, right? So, lawyer is my guest this evening, and like I said earlier, if you can get interactive with us on social media for watching live on Facebook at North Television GH or at the CS show, make sure you give us a follow and continue to stay on with us. My name is Queen Classy, and let's get to meet Dr. Lawyer. Doctor, lawyer, those professions. You know, I love it so much. I love it so much. You know, I love it so much. So, doctor, I always call a doctor and then a lawyer. It's so beautiful. Yeah. Lawyer Rauf. I mean, largely that's everyone calls you. Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for making time for us this evening. How have you been?
My pleasure. Beautiful.
How have you been?
I'm fine.
Okay. So today we have you here. We're talking all about that. Yeah. First off, let's get to meet you. Let's get to know more about you.
Rauf is my name. I was born and bred in Tamale.
Okay.
To Alhaji Alidu Abu, and then Amina Kalim. So I belong to the Abu and the Kalim's family.
Yeah. Okay.
But I hail from Zabzugu, to be precise.
Okay.
Zabzugu is my hometown.
Okay.
And, I had my basic education largely in Tamale.
Okay.
Yes. Precisely in Nuria Arabic and English primary school.
Okay.
Yes. That's where I had my basic education. Proceeded to be Team Junior Secondary School. Those days, the experimentals. Then to Ghana Secondary School, now Ghana Senior High
School,
Tamale. Then I proceeded Tamale Secondary School for my advanced level. Ghana School was my ordinary level. So my alma mater basically is Ghana Secondary School.
School, right.
And then to Cape Coast University for my first degree. I read Commerce, BCom, Bachelor of Commerce. And from there I worked in the public service for some number of years. I rose to the rank of a principal accountant, and I was a district finance officer for a number of districts, spanning from Upper East through the northern regions. And then shortly after that, I decided to go and study law. So I obtained my Bachelor of Laws at KNUST.
Okay.
We were the first batch.
Oh, okay.
Yes. We were the first batch.
Do you remember the year?
2 or 3, I prefer.
Okay.
I'm not too sure. 2 or 3. And then to the Ghana School of Law at Makola. And then I was then called to the bar as a lawyer in 2010.
Oh.
So, and for the past 13 years, I've been practicing as a lawyer.
Right.
In Tamale. And besides practicing as a lawyer, I'm also a politician as well. Yes, politician to an extent that ever been elected as the Deputy Regional Secretary of NDC in the Northern region.
Okay.
And then subsequently contested for Regional Secretaryship. And again, I was elected as a North Regional Secretary. For 8 years, I was in the Secretariat of the National Democratic Congress.
Right.
And then during those times, I was also a full lecturer at the then Tamale Polytechnic, which is now Tamale Technical University.
Yeah.
And then in the politics, I'm still in politics because I'm a member of Council of Elders of the party in the region. And I'm also the chairman of the regional disciplinary committee for the party.
Wow.
Yes. And then currently, I still work with the Tamale Technical University.
Okay.
So all in all, that's Ralph.
Exactly.
I'm married with 2 wives. Yes. Aisha and Mama. These are my 2 wives, and I have 7 children.
Wow.
4 boys, 3 girls.
Impressive.
Yes. So in a nutshell, this is all about Ralph. Besides that, I like socializing. That's one other thing that, and I'm a fan of Royal Tamale United.
Okay, football, right? So at least apart from the book,
yes,
apart from the book, you have this fun part of you as well. Yes. Interesting. So you see, quite a man we have here to discuss. This is definitely the right person, a lawyer who has been practicing for the last 13 years. It is not easy. How is it going with issues coming in and out always in the court? How is it going?
It's been interesting practicing in Tamale.
Right.
Those of us from here were born and bred here. Much of our practice is more of pro bono than commercial. You mostly bump into relatives who come with their problems and with party foot soldiers who in one way or other will get into some kind of trouble.
Yeah.
You have to go to court, and so with some few commercial
cases
engagements,
well.
yes.
Right.
So practicing in Tamale, sometimes it's quite funny practicing in Tamale, like I indicated earlier, where you have you are in a court opposing to somebody that you know. You can just be accosted in town and actually we're in court saying this and that. You are in Tamale, we are all in Tamale, God will punish you and all that. So it's been quite funny practicing in Tamale. If you were in Kumasi or Accra, that would have been a different ball game altogether. So sometimes there are even times that certain cases are brought to you, and when you find out that it is somebody who is related to you is on the other side, you end up declining to take up such cases. So it's not been easy. But,
so it means you've declined such cases.
Oh yes, sometimes you have to. Yeah, sometimes on moral grounds.
Right.
There are times you go into court to do cases against some caliber of people, and you just think that no, it is not normal. So you tell the person that I know so and so, and for that matter, I cannot take up this matter. So if you were somewhere in Kumasi or Bolga or Sunyani, I don't know. I was born and bred here, so I know a lot of people. A lot of people know me, particularly with politics and being in the lectureship. You're a lecturer, you teach students, and the politics you interact. Even your political opponents, sometimes it is difficult even doing cases against them. So even sometimes we even get more cases from those on the other side because those from your party will not even pay you. So, but those on the other side, let's say New Party,
they'll pay you, right? Okay, interesting. That's quite but let me be quick to add that he was once my lecturer. In fact, he's still my teacher because we are still here to educate us and a lot more people about certain things that we need to know, add it out to our daily lives. So Lawyer Rauf is our guest tonight. You've met him. Now let's get into the discussion. But before we get into that, I want to say thank you to Clinton Lodge and Restaurant, for providing us with this beautiful space and setup to bring you the CA show. So if you find yourself in Tamale, you want to just chill out, if you're driving into Tamale or coming into Tamale or the northern region, the most comfortable place you'd find is Clinton Lodge and Restaurant. When it comes to food, you're definitely going to get your belly filled with good food, you know. And when it comes to security and comfortability, Clinton Lodge and Restaurant reserves that for you. And also the production team, TMP Studios and TMP Film Academy, they are in charge of the production of the CA show. And also to our director, Shahid Biggie, thank you so much. And to the entire staff of North Television GH. Now let's go on to it. You know, talk about blackmail. Now, per my research, I have a few things to share with you when it comes to blackmail. Now, the term blackmail describes the act of threatening to make someone suffer in a way unless they meet certain demands. So generally, it involves the threats of revealing, embarrassing, or damaging information about a person in order to coerce them to do something. Now, such as classified as a criminal offense, it is classified as a criminal offense. It is a form of extortion, and in other words, it is the act of demanding payment of a certain action from another person in return for not revealing, compromising, or damaging information about them. So that is just what I know about you know, blackmail. Thank you. About blackmail. Now let's get to the man himself to tell us. Doctor, what is the concept of...
I'm not a doctor.
Oh, lawyer. you see, maybe you should become a doctor as well. Maybe you should. Yes, right. So, lawyer, let's get your opinion. The concept of blackmail. Yeah. What is it?
Yes, from what you have just said, we have one jurist and economist, one the American jurist and economist, in the person of Posner. Posner definition of blackmail sits right in the explanation that you have just given. You see, blackmail for Posner, he says that it's an attempt to trade silence for money. Yes.
Yeah, makes sense.
That it is an attempt to trade silence for money. What it simply means is that the gentleman is trying to say that for somebody to attempt to blackmail you is to tell you that if you don't give me money, I will not remain silent about certain things I know about you, certain dangerous information that I have about you. So that is all what he's trying. That is a summary of what you have just said.
Right.
Yes. So usually he says that if somebody attempts to blackmail you, the person threatens you. He may just say that, look, I have a full knowledge of your escapades with other women. He may just be calling somebody. Somebody can call another person, tell the person that I have a full knowledge about your relationship, amorous relationship with so many women. Somebody may also call and say that I also have some nude pictures about you.
That is the popular one, at least.
Yes, that's the popular one. And then if you don't give me money, the favors can vary. It may not necessarily even be money. He may even be threatening you to abandon an ambition. He may be threatening you to abandon an ambition.
Or a relationship.
Or an ambition, political ambition, whatever. Or the person may be demanding money, threatening that he will release dangerous information about you. Yes. Usually the intention of a blackmailer is to gain some advantage by way of either some favor or some money. And then he ends up trying to get you to understand that if you don't give me money, I may release an information, a dangerous information about you, that may have very serious consequences. For instance, he may threaten that releasing this information about you to your wife can bring down your marriage. That is quite dangerous. He may also try to say that, look, if you don't give me money, if I release this dangerous information about you, it may rupture your political ambition. Yes, or it may end up inciting the public against you.
Right.
So all these are some of the threats that the person may issue against you. But unfortunately, like you are saying, blackmail, there's no known provision in our Criminal Offences Act. At 960. There's no known provision, to the best of my knowledge, and I know that can be right. That criminalizes blackmail in Ghana. Okay. Yes. Okay. I'm happy you mentioned extortion.
Extortion, yes.
If you look at the definition of blackmail, you may not be able to situate it right in either extortion or fraud. Like there's no known provision, like I said, in our statute book. If you check through the Criminal Offences Act, you cannot see expressly. They say that, look, for somebody to have committed an offense of blackmail, you are guilty of this. But in the case of extortion, it is clear in section 151 or so in the Criminal Offences Act, that says that if one extorts from another person, the property of another person, with a threat, by issuing a threat that, look, if you don't do this. So there, we just have to zero on what kind of threat are they talking about? Is it about blackmail? Okay. So what you usually do is that law, you don't read sections in isolation. Okay. You read it together with other sections. Okay. So like I indicated earlier, we cannot with certainty say that blackmail is an offense in Ghana. We cannot say that because there's no express provision. Okay. So people blackmail people and get away with it. So for extortion, is blackmail the same as extortion? The extortion says that, look, if the person threatens that if you don't give me this, so now what kind of threat are they talking about? If you go to section 17(1) or so of the same act, Act 29, threats, the ingredients of threat includes threat of causing harm. Yeah. Threat of causing harm to somebody. Like, I will hurt you. Yeah. I'll kill you. I'll do that. Yes. So I'll do this if you don't do this. That is threat of harm. Okay. Forcing harm on you. Threat of damaging your property. Right. Damaging your property. I'll bend down your house. I'll bend down your car. That is another threat. Okay. Threat of libeling you, or even slandering you. The person says that I'm threatening to disclose so and so information about you. Right. You see, the libel and slander used to be a criminal crime. Yeah. Yes, until it was repealed in the then administration that was during the Ufuo's time, that it was repealed. So it is no longer a criminal offense. Okay. So if somebody libels you, your only option available to you is for you to take a civil action against that person. Okay. So that part of the definition will have a problem because libel and slander is no longer a crime. A crime, okay. So in this case, causing harm, your property, threatening to damage your property, and then another threat that people can issue is that I'll get you to be detained. Yeah. Yes, a policeman or somebody else with a very influential position can say, look, I'll get you to be detained or I'll get you to be prosecuted. So these are the elements of threats. Right. So if you look at all these 5 elements that I have mentioned, there is that absence of blackmail. The person is saying that I'll release this information. The person never said I will cause harm, I will damage your property, I will slander you, I will do this. Are you getting my point? Right. The person only says that, look, I will release an information. Yeah. I will release a very dangerous information about you if you don't do this. Right. So you see the difficulty that we have in situating blackmail on extortion. So the extortion does little to solve that problem. You are getting it. Yes, that is the point I'm making. So in other jurisdictions, they have been able to do so. Okay. For instance, in the United States of America, they have a blackmail as a crime. Okay. Yes, exactly. Yes. And that is in the Theft Act of 1968.
Okay.
Precisely Section 121 of that particular law says that if one is engaged in blackmail, you'll be guilty of an offense.
Right.
And then it carries even carries a maximum sentence up to 14 years in the United States. Even in Nigeria, blackmail especially is considered as a crime. But that is not the case
in Ghana. Exactly.
We don't have there's no. But I think going forward, something
we
should be done.
have to, because lawyer, it's becoming one too many.
Yeah.
You know, where people are being blackmailed on various issues. The only popular one is direct nudity. So people have images of you or videos of you doing something very private, and they get hold of that information and they want to use it against you. So I think maybe you should start championing this for blackmail to become a crime
because
in Ghana.
Even blackmail, if you look at the consequences of blackmail,
right,
it is highly morally reprehensible.
Yes,
it is something that can lead to some people taking away their lives.
Exactly.
Somebody can be blackmailed to death.
Yeah.
So, like you're saying, it is really important.
It is not likely.
It's not likely. Somebody can be blackmailed to death. The information has not yet been released about that person.
Right.
The person is already having the feeling that once these particular images of mine are released into the public domain,
okay,
I will have to take away my life. Even before the images are released, some people will take away their lives. That is quite dangerous.
Yes.
I get it. And somebody may even make it his habit. That's what he feeds on.
Yes.
What he does is that he tries to ensure that, look, I get hold of somebody's information, and then I threaten that if the person doesn't do this, I'll do that and do that. So it is highly immorally reprehensible, and then it can lead to people's taking away their lives. And it isn't, people's personal security are threatened.
Yes.
You don't know who is watching you. People are not free to do what they like. Usually things are, some of the issues that they talk about you or they see about you are things that are supposed to be considered very private.
Yeah.
And you recalled when we're doing media and politics, we discussed privacy, we described obscenity and all that.
Yeah.
So you realize that it is hard time the blackmail is made a crime
in Ghana.
Yes.
Exactly. But lawyer, what constitutes, or what elements constitute to make your case valid? Let's say, for instance, let's say blackmail is one level, or level 1 or stage 1.
Yes.
So at what level do you as an individual know that, okay, so this is actually getting bad? What should I do about it?
Before I get into that, let us rather discuss what can I do to prevent that, to prevent being blackmailed.
Okay.
I think that is quite important.
Okay, we would have gotten there.
We would have gotten there.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, but I would have preferred to talk about that before even,
Well, yes, I thought maybe we'll talk about the scarier ones.
Okay, then yeah. So then your question again.
Yes, we're looking at these stages. Now that you've actually explained that blackmail really is not a crime in Ghana, extortion and then fraud is.
Extortion, yes.
Yes, exactly. So let's say you are being blackmailed and then now extortion. Yes. What do you do?
You see, anytime somebody is blackmailed, there are 2 options that are available to the person, but there should be a third option, which is quite a very dangerous option. There are 3 options. There are 2 options that are immediately available to you when you are being blackmailed. But there is a third option that is quite risky and dangerous, and then that might be the option that can save your life. The first option is you risk calling the bluff of the blackmailer, calling his bluff, and gotten the images released about you. Okay. That is the first option. You risk calling his bluff. Yeah. Go ahead and do whatever you do. I don't care. I care less. The second option is for you to pay. But the second option may not end. Yeah. You pay 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. the blackmailer still keeps.
Yeah.
It is possible that he may even copy it into another device. And then once you pay, so it is not going to end. Yeah. He hold you ransom. You are held hostage. If you are not very careful for the rest of the world, as long as that blackmailer lives, that is what will happen if you choose the second option.
Right.
Yeah. The third option is for you to, you've been told, is for you to carry out a very strong investigation. It becomes easier when you know the blackmailer.
Okay.
If you know his identity, you know where he lives. Sometimes it might even be your ex-boyfriend.
Yeah.
Usually it is people who are within your circles. They will always have the opportunity to get you.
Yeah.
I'll get to that. But before I get to that, I will tell you that if you know the person by identity, why is it easier? Let the police raid the person. Because what he is now trying to do, if it is in terms of your nude pictures, comes under section 280.
Okay.
You see that this is the protection that you have. If he threatens to release your nude pictures, then that means that you come under section 280, obscenity. You see, he's not allowed by law, per Act 29, he's not allowed by law to publish nude pictures of anybody, materials that are considered obscene. He's not supposed to do that. So what you do is that if I know that you try to blackmail me by telling me that you are holding my nude pictures and I know where you live, I'll let the police raid you. Raid you, pick you up, and then these are the report, the complaints I've made against you, that you are holding my nude pictures. The devices, all the devices that you have may even be seized. I mean, most of those that I've advised, I've had situations like this.
Yes,
and
exactly.
I've advised the people. I've even reported some of the cases myself. I've taken people to police stations. So just that I'm not going to tell you those ones. And we've succeeded. They've been able to retrieve their phone, sometimes at the point of being arrested, the person deletes the pictures. That is if you are lucky and he has not even copied it. But the threat is now, you have now placed the war at his doorstep. So the threat is no longer about you, the threat is about him. That, look, you are denying that you don't have in possession the nude pictures of so and so. The police are now telling him, in the event that a nude picture comes about this person, even if it is somebody else, not you, you are likely to be held responsible. Exactly. So there you can bring to a closure the blackmailer's attempt to blackmail you by telling you that he will release dangerous information. So if it comes, I've indicated the three scenario where you can call him prof, you can pay the money, but you have to live with it for the rest of your life, knowing very well that somebody else is holding this about me. You get that? Yes. And the third one is, for me, is the best option. Is for you to rather get him into trouble rather than sitting back for him to get you into trouble.
Okay, so how do you do that? Is it by buying time for yourself? Because I don't know how you can get a blackmailer or someone who is trying to extort from you to, want to do all the investigations about them, especially if you do not know them. That is quite, some time to take to get the information you need about them. Do you buy time?
No, you don't buy time. You sometimes if you don't know, I did not talk about the second part. In the event where you don't know the person, what it means is that the technology is far advanced this time. Tracking the person, particularly now we have SIM card registration, where people, that's what you have to be careful using, allowing the service providers allowing people to use other SIM cards to register another. Yes, and by one of the ways by which you can track the person is by making sure that you follow up to be able to get the person. You can also entrap the person. If it is a gentleman, you can use a beautiful lady to get him, to call him and tell him that, look, so and so. If she's a lady, everybody has a price. I've always been saying that everybody, there's nobody who cannot be entrapped.
Really?
Yes, everybody has a price. Somebody is looking for a position. Somebody is interested in women. Somebody is interested in money. So you can actually use some of these devices let me term them as devices, strategies to advantage, to be able to track the person. So, but if it is a kind of blackmail that the person is threatening to provide information. For instance, engaging with so many women is something that is already unacceptable. That is besides your wife. So if he says, "I'll release information to your wife," that one you may have nothing to do. You may just have to pay the money to ensure that you protect your marriage, or you confront your wife and say, "Look, you confessed." You confess and tell your wife that this confession that I'm making is for us to save a lot of money. Somebody is trying to blackmail me for threatening me by saying that he's going to release so information.
No, that is another trouble. So if you are not being blackmailed, you have.
But it's better you let her know this, and then But the nudity alone is a crime. So those that have criminal components, then it's better you have preemptive strike. You rather have to face the person before the person gets at you.
All right. So instead of wondering about, confused and maybe opening up even to more people, you can save yourself by just doing a lot of research, trying to track the person and do that. If that is the third one, but that is quite risky. A lawyer has said that already, but you can still try that, And there are other cases where I don't know whether it's blackmail or extortion, where they demand for money and they are like, meet me here. They give you a location, meet me here, and let's do the transaction, and then we're gone. So if I had your videos, nude videos or pictures, I delete them there. You see that I've deleted, and then you give me the money, and then we go. Then they're like, don't come with the police. don't come with anyone. Come along. How do you get to that lawyer?
That is extortion. That is clearly an extortion. That is trying to deprive the person of his property, money. By that is clearly can be situated on extortion.
Extortion, exactly.
So there, if you are able to get there with the police, you may end up picking up that person and then getting him put before court.
All right. So lawyer, having gone through all of this, now you are being blackmailed. The situation is real.
Yes.
What are the steps to report to the police? What are you supposed to? What is the first step to take?
The reporting a matter like this to police, the doors of the police are always opened. You just go to the nearest police station, and then tell them what the issues are. They have their, particularly if it is, let's say in the case of Tamale, just walking to the charge office and reporting the matter is enough. They may get an investigator to take it up. Those that you see at the counter back, we call it counter back. The policemen on duty immediately, if you are under a threat of any harm, any offense, theft and whatever, robbery or whatever, the first place to call is for you to go to the charge office. But normally when it is even in the evening, then you cannot even get the investigators perhaps at work. You go to the charge office, they will refer the matter to an investigator. And Tamale in particular, we now have a police station at Sanargu. Municipal, we have a police station at Divisional Command at Lamashugu Division. We have the central police station itself, that they have the station and the district. These are even two different commands. The district and then the station. And then we even have the regional CID. So there are so many places. Of late, they are trying to put up another police station at even between Target here, where we are now. Yes, they have been trying to open so many police posts all over.
To make it very accessible and easy.
So it's just a matter of going there and tell them you don't need to pass through a lawyer. You don't need to pass through a middleman. You can personally walk to the police station and report your matter. It will be taken up. No money is demanded from you. Nobody will ask for anything.
Because I was going to how expensive it is.
You are not going to pay anything. You just report the matter. Those are the counterback will refer the matter to the detectives. And the detective will take that up. If you know where the person lives, or if you can tell, I've assisted a lot of people to rate so many people of that. And I've always acted behind the scenes. And we have succeeded in getting them And sometimes you do that and the person says, look, I'm sorry, I won't do that again. And they will hand over the pictures to you and then a promise that it won't happen again. Please don't let. So usually when it happens, or you just tell the policeman that this person must be detained for him to learn his lesson. Either a day or two. Sometimes the complainant may drop the case against the blackmailer.
So this is happening right here in Tamale.
A lot of them. Being a lawyer, and being in the system as a politician, I've come across a lot of that.
I just don't get it, lawyer. Like,
and those that have actually been destroyed. I think on about 3 or so occasions, those pictures, whose nude pictures have been released, I've been able to offer a lot of counseling to them. You don't have to. Tamale matter is today it is you, tomorrow it is somebody else. Yours is ignored. So don't take away your life because your nude pictures are out there. Sometimes people take these nude pictures for their personal use. I think we are even yet to get there. Yes, and that is privacy. You know, somebody can take all this, but the advices that I've always advised people who are very close to me that they should be very careful in trying to take their own photographs. You know, the devices are devices that are imported. We don't have full control over them. You cannot know everything about the device. So you can only know your limits. There are even at times, and most of the times that these nude pictures get out there is from the phone repairers. Yes, you take the picture, sometimes you delete, it goes to recycle bin. Yes, some other people just think that once a picture is deleted from the phone, that ends the story. Some of them don't know that it goes to recycle bin. Some don't even know that even pictures that are sent to recycle bin, that is supposed to go off within a month or so, can be recalled by another device. So, and these phone repairers know all this. So it is absolutely needless for you to take yourself a nude picture. You are yourself. What do you need it for?
For their boyfriend,
I mean,
their girlfriend.
That brings another issue. That brings up another issue. You see, once we are human beings and we are not angels, today it is good. Tomorrow, you don't know where the relationship will. I mean, there are guys out there, they are so jealous that just see you standing with another man is the conclusion that you have something to do with him. If he has your nude pictures, you are in trouble. It might not be something that he will be demanding. If it is on the side of the woman whom you have given out your nude pictures to, he says he wants a motorbike. You don't have the money. He says he wants you to marry him. Hey, you are not ready yet. You aren't ready. And then she ends up releasing your nude pictures. So either from both ends, either from the man or from the woman, it is absolutely needless for you to capture yourself on your phone. The property is yours, but tomorrow it is somebody's. So I will urge those who do that and then it's possible that he may also go in for another man or another woman. Then you know, I don't lock up my phone. I don't have a password on my phone. So the another person picks it up and then take it out without even at the blind side of your ex-boyfriend or your ex-girlfriend and end up destroying you. So today there's that trust. Once we are human beings, there can be the chips can be down. And once the chips are down, it can be something else. And that is highly irreparable. You can not actually get that back. So going to the police station to report is one point of call. And what else do you need to make your case a case? No, once you have reported the matter to police, you leave that for the investigators to go on. And this is, we have very young, efficient policemen who can take up all that. So usually when you report, you urge them to move in fast. I think recently I did one. We moved in very fast. And then that gentleman was picked up and we ended up solving the problem.
Okay.
Yes.
The wickedness of this world.
Yes.
the wickedness of this world.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't get it, lawyer. Why somebody would just get up and say, well, I want to do this to you. People are desperate to do anything just to make money.
Yes.
People are desperate to make money fast. People are just wicked. They just want to see you suffer.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
because probably you're happy.
You lose. Yes. To their advantage or to somebody else's
advantage. Yes, doctor, lawyer is very serious.
Yes.
But I'm happy that you and perhaps other lawyers are doing their best to make sure that these things are quite curtailed and people are arrested and prosecuted for issues like this.
Wow.
Moving on. Well, if you're just joining us, so we're talking blackmail and extortion here on the CA show. I am Queen Classy. I'm with lawyer Raouf Khalid, who is my guest. Tonight he's a lawyer and he's also a politician, but today is all about law. Okay, it's all about law. So lawyer, when it gets far, so let's say this has been going on for some time, does it even end up in court? Maybe, perhaps. At what level does it get to?
I recall one of
court?
Such instances. It ended up in court.
Okay. In
the circuit court. I did not again follow up to see how it ended.
Okay.
But I think it had saved a lot.
Okay.
In that case, the person had already released the nude pictures of that young lady. And then I said we're not going to arrest, but to ensure that this guy pays for that. Right. That was on the side of the guy. Usually it's the guys who release the nude pictures of the women. Yeah. So we followed up to the matter, and I think later the lady and them had to resolve the matter. I was no longer following that up.
Oh, okay.
But some have ended up in court, and then some have gone to prison for engaging in this kind of blackmail. Once you see the attempt to blackmail you in itself is not a crime. Okay. You see the point. Okay. The attempt to do that is not a crime. Okay. Your advantage is for you to zero on the person and get him picked up for the nude pictures. Okay. So it is the obscenity that is a crime. That is an offense. So like I know I gave you an example, like if it is about somebody that provided information that when you were in secondary school you had when you were in the university you had engaged in. You may have a background. 50, that's why they say, look, if we are putting up a character, you have to be careful. Right from your formative years up to your adulthood. Yeah. You have to be careful some of the things that you engage in. Yeah. Just stealing at a school dormitory can follow you for the rest of your life. Yes, in the school dormitory, yes. Just stealing a colleague's something can follow you for the rest of your life. Right. Yes. Anytime eventually you become a very important personality, people will still refer to you. So somebody may have an information where you lived all your life, let's say in the Ashanti region. The blackmail takes so many forms. Yeah. You can live all your formative life in the Ashanti region, and a dangerous information about your lifestyle when you were in secondary school is not known to the people of northern Ghana. But you are now a very important personality in northern Ghana. Then somebody else in the Ashanti region will hold this information about you. He calls you and tell you that, look, please, if you don't do so and so, I will call in Radio Justice or NTV and tell them that when you were in Opokuwari, student at Opokuwari or Prempe, you stole so and so. And then this is what you don't want to come to. So something like you actually did. Yeah. So can that be a crime? No, I'm just asking a question. Can that kind of blackmail be a crime? No. No. Because indeed you when you were in school. Still, so even if that person libeled you, if the person libels you and then you go and sue the person comes with the defense that he justifies that it is true that you are engaged in this kind of practice. Okay. So you get the point. Okay. So we have to be careful about our lives during our formative years and all that. So all of this is human act. Yes, this is all human act. So is it our fault that we are being blackmailed? No, yes, it is to some extent. Okay. Yes, because like I indicated, like you have to be very careful about people in your inner circle. The Gombes have a saying that if I will be permitted to say that in Dagbani, I will say that that
please do.
Yes, that Papul DPM onim bangni. Yes, I don't know how to.
I see how heavy it is.
Would have done it. You know that if you shoot tortoise, that if you are able to aim a tortoise by the eye, tortoise will usually cover, will shell himself.
Yeah,
will shell himself. Yeah. So if you are able to shoot a tortoise and hit the eye, you are able to hit the eye. That whoever does that is within the inner circle of that tortoise. That person knows the time the tortoise brings out the head and the time it goes in.
True.
So you see,
makes sense.
all those who are able to blackmail, either the person is your ex-boyfriend, is your boyfriend, is your friend.
Your best friend.
Your best friend. So even this, we have to be careful in our conversations, a phone conversation. When you are conversing with somebody, you're talking to somebody on phone, and you notice that the person hardly speaks. What he does is that he only proofs. Be careful, the person may be recording you to blackmail you. The person hardly will talk, but what he does is that he only proofs you. And then you do the talking. It ends up all these leaked tapes that we have in this system. People like that have been blackmailed. They have called the bluff of the people, and they decide to release it out. And then when you're talking to people, so sometimes if you think that you are talking to somebody and you consider what you're telling the person a sensitive information, you tell the person that please can we meet somewhere and talk, so that the air will blow it off. So most influential people will not allow somebody to come into his circle with a phone. These big politicians that will not allow a lady to come into his system holding a phone, because he will end up being blackmailed.
Yeah, they've been used.
Yes, so conversations, who you talk to, who you release your secrets to. Once an information gets out of you, it ceases not to be a secret. But there's one very important thing that a lot of people, we have now veered into social. There's one very important thing that people don't know about humanity. Once you are called a human being, you are a human being. Sometimes I tell somebody that, why did you do this? Why will you do this? And the person, oh, you don't trust me? Why? You think you still don't trust me? And I'll tell the person that once you haven't become an angel, I will still not trust you. The day that you grow wings and are announcing that you have grown wings and you are now an angel, then I can now be sure that if I release this information to you, it will not get. And as soon as you release an information or something gets out of your system, you take yourself a nude picture, and it is no longer in your possession, and it is now in the possession of a third party. Then be sure that one day this thing will come out. I want to bet you, mark it on the wall. Yes, once that person hasn't grown wings to become an angel, be very certain that this thing will come out one day. Right. So people who are in our inner circles, by way of best friends, by way of
very careful.
Even sometimes people who have been married and had children
with people get bitter.
Yes, they get bitter and they try to play all ball. People that you are in a political program with. Right. Yeah. So these are some of the issues.
And lawyer, some of the things that I've also said is, it's not just maybe you taking your phone to take those pictures that probably a phone repairer have access to. When we talk about video calls, so you're maybe in a video call with your partner, whoever, then you're naked and you're showing, your private parts. The person can just quickly take a screenshot. Just take a screenshot. You can even record. There's a device that you use to record the whole transaction. iPhones, you can just screen record
and
whatever
then edit
that is
himself
happening.
out. He may even tell you that. He may even incite you by telling you that he may be incite you by telling you that, look, let's all video ourselves, and then he ends up editing himself out and leaving yours. Yeah. So all these things, a lot of young women and a lot of young guys out there are not aware. Yeah. So these are the issues. So the most important thing for people to know that if somebody threatens that, look, I'm going to you, the only part of the transaction that is criminal is the fact that obscenity is crime under the laws of Ghana.
Okay.
Under section 280 of Act 29 makes obscenity. You publish somebody's nude pictures, either by way of trade or whatever reasons. So, but usually I really don't. If you are taking the pictures to keep yourself, that one is your privacy. That one, if you are caught with it, if somebody reads your privacy, your home, and take your phone and see your nude pictures, you cannot be prosecuted. For that, because that is your private. It's meant for your own consumption. Okay. But if it can be established that those pictures are being taken by way of trade, that one it becomes criminal. Okay.
All right. So we're still interacting with lawyer Rauf on, blackmail and extortion. We would go on a quick commercial break. When we come back, we talk about the consequences and the, punishable, things that happen to people who blackmail others, probably those who do it for a living. Lawyer. So I'll be right back with all of that. Do stay.
Explore the innovation and imagination behind epic movie making. Apply for our training courses in filmmaking at TMP Film Academy, located at Tamale, Ward K. Our 6 months intensive training program will introduce you to directing, script writing, cinematography, photography, lighting, production sound, editing, graphic design, and many more. You will receive hands-on technical training through behind-the-scenes breakdowns, concept development, storylines, student productions, and mentorship by seasoned and experienced industry professionals. Enroll now. Pick up the admission forms for 100 Ghana cedis. For more enquiries, call or WhatsApp 050-486-8483 or 024-125-1400. TMP Film Academy, unearthing the creativity in you.
Welcome back, everyone, onto the CA show. I want to thank you for staying on. We're just discussing blackmail, extortion, and now we are getting into fraud. I'm sure you'll be wondering, I said we're going to talk about fraud and we're still here. Yes, we're just getting into that. I've been interacting with lawyer Rauf Khalid, who is a lawyer and a lecturer as well. He lectures on anything related to law, and your profession as well. He's a politician, as well. So he's a man of many things, but here he is today talking about law, something he has been doing in the last 13 years, so he's got so much experience to share with us on these issues. He earlier mentioned that a lot of the issues are happening when it comes to blackmail, when it comes to nudity instances. He has personally intervened in some issues and cases and brought justice for people as well. He also mentioned some things that you can do to avoid yourself being in a situation like this, and he highlighted some things that you can also do to prevent yourself. And when you find yourself in a situation like this, what you can also do to help yourself. If you're just joining us, you may have missed, quite a lot, but you're still on time to learn a thing or two on this matter. Lawyer, let's get into, fraud as well. Blackmail, extortion, fraud. What is the similarity here?
The blackmail, extortion, fraud have one common characteristic. Okay. That attempting to get somebody to part with something. Okay. If it comes to blackmail, you're trying to get the person to part with something with a threat that you will release a dangerous information that may land the person into trouble. If it is extortion, you are again issuing a threat by way of causing harm to the person's property, to the person himself, force harm, criminal force harm, or by threatening that you get the person detained or get the person prosecuted if he doesn't part with money or he doesn't part with some kind of favor. So you see that these are the similarities. Okay. In terms of fraud, which I will say defrauding by false pretenses, which is captured under Section 131 of Act 29, the Criminal Offences Act, also is an attempt to make representations, to make statements about the existence of a fact that truly doesn't exist. You are trying to, when you are defrauding somebody by false pretenses, is by means of making false pretenses, making representations or statements to somebody that, look, I have 2,000 bags of maize that I'll have to supply. If you part with this also money to me, I will let you have. And known to that person, you don't have such. So you end up defrauding that person. That is defrauding by false pretenses. Fraud, there can be some other forms of fraud, like this scam that we call scamming. Is fraudulent activity, you know, for you to get somebody to part with money by either telling the person that you are a gold dealer and all that. All these are captured in the form of fraud. So the similarities with fraud and extortions and then blackmail is all about the fact that you end up attempting or to get somebody to part with some favor or some money. And then by parting with money or by trying to obtain some favor, you end up destroying the other person, because the person will lose by either giving you out something or you know, whatever. So this is what runs through the three. Yes, but the difference is that in the case of defrauding by false pretenses, it is where there's no threat of harm. There's no threat of releasing information. With defrauding, it is all about the person making representations, sweet representations, by deceit, by way of lying to you. So that is the difference. But in the case of extortion and blackmail, the issue of threat comes there. So these are the differences. And another difference is that for now, there's no express provision within the laws of this country that blackmail is a crime.
But fraud is.
But fraud is. Fraud is. That's one section, 131 of Act 29, and then extortion is 151.
So commonly, the very common one is romantic scams. Where it might not really be popular in Ghana, but we've heard of cases like that. Especially abroad. So it could be here and abroad, someone abroad or someone elsewhere, and you pretend to be someone you're not. To the person, and then personation. Yes, exactly. So the definition of defrauding by false pretenses encompasses personation. Yes. So defrauding by false pretenses includes personation. Yes, under 131. 131. Yes.
Good.
And that is punishable.
Punishable. It's a second degree felony.
Oh,
yes.
Really?
It's a felony. Yes. Yes, it is. It's not a misdemeanor. It's not a small crime. It's a second degree felony. You can't. Defrauding by false pretenses, if one is found guilty for having engaged in defrauding by false pretenses, you are likely to be convicted and sentenced into prison for not less than 10 years. And I think not more than 25 years or so. Yes. That's a very serious crime. It's a
very serious one. Now, you guys always do some research, and I need to bring you some statistics at this point. And we're looking at crime index in Ghana I have data from 2014 to 2023, but let's look at data from 2016. To date, for 2016, crime index in Ghana was 49.01. 2017, we have 46.99. In 2018, we have 45%. And in 2019, we have 51.95. And in 2020, we have 48.97. In 2021, 48.52. In 2022, 46.81, I beg your pardon. And in 2023, though we've not ended, but we have data analysis at the moment, we have 44.5. So, lawyer, you look at the trend, it looks like it goes up and down and up and then down, because from 2016 it was within the 40s, 40 something, then 2019 we hit 50. We hit cross 51%. That is quite high. That is quite high.
But the fact of the matter is that economic hardships should not be a justification for crime. But it is attributable to that.
Right.
It is attributable to the fact that if there are no jobs, people will find a very dangerous way of earning a living.
Exactly.
So that could be. So if you look at the trend, you could match that with the years and see in which year do we actually experience a very serious economic hardship. Let us look at coming 2022 and I'll see.
Right. So in 2019, that is where we had the highest. From 2016, that is a 51.95%. Yes, and the others still drops come to 40, the 40s.
Yeah. So it usually has a correlation between economic hardship and then the role of our clergy, in terms of our malams, delinquency, child upbringing. If you get into Tamale Township at midnight, try that for once.
I have several times.
Try and make that a project.
Okay.
Try and make that a project.
Okay.
Usually on Friday nights and Saturday nights, you get into Tamale Township and you see the juveniles, children below 16, all over Tamale Township. You don't know who their parents are. So, and it is not only peculiar to Tamale. Some other cities you may have all this. So, but that is to say that, and then look at the rate of consumption of drugs, tramadol. Another reason for the basis for crime is the abuse of drugs by the youth. You see, once they consume drugs, they can do anything. It takes them to so many levels. In terms of cannabis and in terms of tramadol and all that. So these are the issues that we usually bring. And it also goes down to parentage. Children that are born out of wedlock, nobody cares for them. Sometimes it is not fault. I was telling somebody that the whole of northern Ghana, one other issue that I will have to raise with my political party, that is the National Democratic Congress, is that when the former president happens to be around, I'll let him make it as one of our campaign promises to put up a reformative center in northern Ghana. It can be located anywhere, be it Bolga, Tamale, in any of the 5 northern regions. Right from even Kumasi through Sunyani, Tamale, to Bolga and Nalegu and all that. We don't have a buster. There have been situations where you go to the police station to do something and you go there and see about 13, 12-year-old juveniles who have been picked up. And then sometimes you ask them, what are you going to do with them? They go to court and they cannot put them in prison, an adult prison. So they end up releasing them back into the system. They end up releasing the juveniles back into the system. And they metamorphose to become hardened criminals. They usually become the adult criminals. So we can stem that by making sure that that's what our people call a Akwaraboni. Akwaraboni is, we have one in Osu, the boaster. We don't have one here. We can have one here. Children that have been prosecuted and then found guilty for petty crimes and for crimes are sent there to learn carpentry, to learn masonry, to learn what. Even so some of them will come out reformed.
So children are arrested and
oh yes, a lot of children. Sometimes you go to police station to secure a bail for a client, and then you go there, you can see about 4 or 5 children either being picked at target area or victim area. And when you ask, what are these children doing here? Then the policeman will tell you that they were arrested for stealing somebody's phone somewhere, for bagging somebody's, burgling, for jumping over somebody's wall. They brought them there, and then you now ask the policeman, what are you going to do with them? Then they throw their hands in despair and tell you that we will just have to release them back to the system. Because when you take them to court, they will have to be tried in a juvenile court. And after having been found guilty, they should be sentenced into a juvenile prison, which is the Boster. You get that. So as these indexes that you are reading is all about the fact that we don't have systems in place to curtail these things. You get the point. But I have to be quick to say that people who are out there committing crimes, please, the life in prisons is a very bad situation. It's a very terrible situation. We should rather pray that the indexes should go down. The life in our prisons is very terrible.
It's terrible.
It is a place where somebody decides what you should eat, at what time you should eat, what type of food you should eat. It is a place where somebody decides what you should wear. You wake up in the morning and then you put on a glove and then you look into the mirror and say that no, this is not nice, you remove it. You are given a blue dress. A blue dress, if it is about the woman, they are giving skirts. And sometimes, I don't know whether they are being given new clothes or somebody wears them after the person has been released. The same thing is given.
You fit into it and so you are giving to it.
And then the amount of money the government spends on prisoners, I think it's not up to 3 cedis a day.
Yes, I saw something
in
like
that case,
online.
And people think that the war that you see is what they call the prison. No, the prison is inside the wall. And I'm telling you that 30 to 40 people lie. In the prisons, you don't decide who you lie by. There are people, you lie by people, whatever order the person has, you have to contain because you don't decide where to sleep. And then you don't even decide when to sleep. You are made to sleep at 6 and you are made to wake up at 6. And I'm telling you that just try one day in your own home, in your own yard, that the whole of today and tomorrow, I'm not going out. In your own home, that you can prepare food, you can sleep in your bed, you can walk around your compound. For 2 days, I'm not coming out from my house. Personally, you have decided not to come out, not even in front of your main entrance. And you feel how it means for your liberty to be curtailed. So people who engage in extortion, fraud, blackmail, prostitution, sometimes they don't know the implication.
Yeah, they don't.
If you are eventually thrown into jail, and then you get in there and you ask yourself that the reason for my being in this situation is because I just took somebody new pictures. Look, a day in prison is equivalent to a year outside. You wouldn't know. It's a terrible situation. And the windows, sometimes look at our condition here. We're cleaning whilst we sit here. There's a fan hovering around over our heads, and we still clean ourselves. The prison windows are so small. Those who are out there and has ever been in prison, they will testify to this. I
don't think some of us can.
No. People I've gone on radio and somebody called in on the same program. That one was basically not about blackmail and whatever. It was general about crime.
Right.
Somebody phoned in. So a lot of people phone in. Those who have found themselves behind bars phone in and said, look, what this lawyer is talking about, please, nobody should pray that your enemy should even get there. Nobody should pray that your enemy should even get there. Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard. But lawyer, let's talk about, the punishable the punishment one can get when they are guilty of
in the case
crimes.
of the I'm not too sure whether that part of the law has been amended, but I know that if somebody is found guilty of obscenity, it's a misdemeanor. Okay,
so lawyer, before you come in, I want to
means that it is a crime that is, so I want to urge that part of the law, if it is still a misdemeanor, it should be changed. Because it destroys life. Because misdemeanor is a smaller punishment. Yes, with the second degree felony, we have 3 types of crimes under the laws of Ghana, and we have the first degree felony, the second degree felony, and the misdemeanor. Misdemeanor is the smallest, where people are usually sent to the district courts, and the district court has no jurisdiction to imprison the person for more than 2 years. Yes, so 2 years below. But for second degree felony, carry more years. For first degree felony, I think off head I can mention some of the crimes. Robbery is one of such crime. First degree felony that carries heavier sentences. Sometimes you hear that robbers have been sentenced to 40 years, 30 years. Sometimes the counts are many and they are to run consecutively. It means that you have to serve 15 years, serve 20 years. So when they add up all those years, he gets about 50 years or more. If they are to run concurrently, then the highest one is what take precedence over the others. So the point I'm trying to make is that a crime of robbery, rape is a first degree felony. A lot of people don't know that having sexual intercourse with an adult, yes, without her consent, is considered an offense, and it is considered an offense of being raped, by somebody being raped, and then it carries not less than 7 years and not more than 25 years. A lot of people are engaged. I would have taken more time to talk about exactly. circumstances under which these things can happen. Defilement. Yeah. There are a lot of guys out there who go around saying that, oh, the small girls are those who go to toilet. This is a platform for me to let them know that people who have the penchant of coming after girls below 16. You know, a lot of people don't even know that. With defilement, even consent doesn't matter. Even if she's 15, 14, and she consented to the intercourse, it still doesn't matter.
Because
it's still a crime.
She's not matured enough.
Yes, it is still a crime.
Right.
That's also a first degree felony.
Okay.
Murder. Yes, we have a lot of murder cases on our hand, in our courts here. Murder cases. There are a lot of murder suspects who are there, accused of murder. It's also a first degree. That one carries a death sentence. Yes, that one is not even an option. It is a jury trial that carries a mandatory death sentence. That if somebody is found guilty of murder, it is mandatory that the judge has no discretion to say that go for 100 years or 30 years or 20. No, the law says that the person must suffer death, either by hanging or by firing squad or by lethal injection. So most people who have been convicted and sentenced to death have been carried to some prisons and some other prisons. Some have been 40, 50 years. They have not. The president hasn't. None of the presidents, either in the past or now, have signed that they should be executed. So they are all rotting there in the jail. So that's quite terrible. It's also a first degree felony. Hijacking of an aircraft and then piracy and all that. All these are first degree felonies. Are you getting my point? So this carrying heavier sentences, followed by a second degree felony, which is defrauding, like causing harm. Somebody's, your guy is after another woman, and the only thing you have to do is to go and teach the lady a lesson by using a blade to cut the face. You want to deform her life. Please, that's a second degree felony. It's not a small crime. You end up going to jail for 5 years or more. You
and your friends will gang up.
Yeah, gang up and go and beat up and then go and teach him. If you cause harm, you end up, So extortion is also a very serious crime. Okay.
Yeah. Now, there's a very current case about this, and this happened, I think, a week ago or so, where 3 students have been suspended for role in circulation of sex tape, I beg your pardon, at Kwadaso SDA Nursing Training College. Now, let me give you the details of that particular one. Now, this one has been taken from Graphic Online, and they said that the Kwadaso SDA Nursing and Midwifery Training College in the Ashanti region has responded to the recent circulation of a sex tape involving some of its students by taking disciplinary action. Following a meeting with the school's disciplinary committee, 3 first-year students have been handed a 1-year suspension as a result of their participation in the incident. The students admitted to their offense during the meeting, and the public relations officer for the school, Williams Adinkra, clarified the details of the incident during an interview on Tuesday, July 4. He revealed that the sexual encounter captured in the video occurred off campus, contrary to initial reports suggesting it took place on the school's premises. Now, this is what he says. He says, after the video surfaced online, we immediately met with the 3 students and they admitted to the offense. The first 2 individuals involved in the sexual encounter, who also filmed it, stated that it took place during their vacation. So this is something that didn't even happen on the school premises, but they'll be given some sort of punishment. The further disclosed, it says, according to our investigation, the third person who allegedly released the video downloaded it from the girl's phone and later demanded 5,000 Ghana cedis from her. When the female students failed to provide their demanded amount, the video was released online and quickly spread on social media. Consequently, all 3 students involved have received a 1-year suspension. Additionally, the students responsible for releasing the video will face additional disciplinary measures upon their return to their college. Meanwhile, all 3 students are 7. Okay, so the 1-year suspension is what they have been given, but I'm told they have been remanded in police custody, and the law would also take its courts with with them, the blackmailers.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
and the court would, the law would also take its course on them as well. So these things are happening, and they are youngsters. What are institutions? What is their role in all of this?
From what I've gathered, I saw the headlines, but I'd never taken an interest in actually knowing what. But for their suspension, it may have to do with the school internal rules and regulations.
Exactly.
Yes, that's what I believe in. But if it has to do with they taking their own nude pictures and then they are able to establish or show that they took them for their private use, that is not publishing them, just keeping them for their own use. That could be a different ball game altogether. So I have not even heard you say that the ladies have been remanded.
No, not at all. It is the guys, the blackmailers, exactly.
They may be taken on under extortion or something. Yeah. So in the case of the school, that might be peculiar with the internal, the domestic rules of the school.
Right.
To an extent that they say that, look, you are supposed to be an example because you are going to be trained as teachers. Yeah. So if something like this happens, they may just have to punish them, either for it to serve as deterrence for others, or for just to show that the school is up to its stats.
Right. So with this particular one, you see that even those who were not, those who conspired with the blackmailer were also punished as well.
Yes, it means that
it means if you conspire with
conspire is abetment, aiding and abetment, and conspiracy. So conspiracy, aiding and abetment are all crimes under the laws of Ghana.
Okay, so you could be punished even though you are not the main character here. But you will be punished.
Because you could be captured under aiding and abetment, or you could be captured under conspiracy.
Okay.
So that is also a crime.
Okay.
Yeah, so
all right.
2 counts. Somebody has you are part of, and the other one who has actually committed a crime.
Okay, lawyer. Lastly, what do you have to, what else do you have to share with us on this matter and young people out there?
Yes, I just have 1 or 2 to say. First is everybody will have to be very concerned about what their children do. Yes, and then they will have to be concerned about what their children do, and then take interest in the lives of your daughters and then your sons. They have phones. Even if they are in university, people leave them to their fate. They actually don't monitor to find out how they carry themselves. And for our ladies out there and of our men out there, please, it is needless to take yourself a nude picture. Once you take it, it gets into a device, you lose control of it. Please let us, the trauma that it comes with when your nude pictures is thrown out there, the consequences is quite, whether you are a man or a woman, particularly if you are a woman, you may end up not even getting married. Some may say that, look, this is a difficulty having somebody that has had an exposure. And then men, it can affect your future career and all that. And then for those who have already been victims of that, all is not lost. I mean, for these issues, you are not going to be the first, and you may not be the last. So life goes on, and for crimes in general, it is just not good, either in your formative years or your adulthood, to engage in any form of crime. And this is all about the fact that most of our young men today and young women today wants to make money fast. The motivation to make money fast is what drives most of our young guys and young women to get themselves involved in all this. Please be conscious that with time you get there.
Yeah.
yes, you will definitely get to where you want to get to. Rome was not built in a day.
Yeah.
So this is the advice that I want to.
That's a beautiful one, lawyer. But something just came in mind, and I just thought I should ask. So the out of court settlement,
Yes.
you know.
Yes, out of court. It's not every crime that you can settle out of court.
Okay.
Yes, even these days we have what we call a plea bargain. There are some crimes, robbery like this cannot be settled out of court.
Yes. So what
cannot be settled out of court.
What of blackmail and extortion? And
Blackmail, extortion is quite a bigger crime.
Okay.
Yes, it's quite a bigger crime. But in the plea bargain, it can come under a plea bargain where you can still be convicted.
Okay.
In plea bargain, you don't just get out and settle it.
Oh, okay.
These are the two different.
Okay.
In the case of out of court settlement, the court gives the matter back to you. That look, you come under a particular section under the law that says that, particularly sometimes when you have a problem, you quarrel with your relative. You quarrel with a sister-in-law or something. If it doesn't involve causing harm. If it is causing harm, you cannot settle. If it is just that you have beaten up your sister-in-law or your brother-in-law, and then you are brought to court to protect the family cohesion, a lawyer can tell the judge that, look, let us protect the family unity. Give the matter back to us to go home and settle. With that one, they can refer it back to the family to ensure that you can as well be bonded to be of a good behavior. Then we also have the plea bargain where it involves money, even sometimes defrauding. You have defrauded somebody to the tune of so much money, let's say 10 billion. If the person is eventually found guilty, the court will not get the money from you. So sometimes somebody, the one who has been arrested for having engaged in defrauding, can say that, look, the monies that I have taken, I still have some around, or I'll pay. So the lawyer can get up and ask for a plea bargain. And then when the plea bargain is accepted by the court, then you are asked to pay the money. You are given time to pay the money that you have extorted, either extorted or the person parted with by way of defrauding, by false pretenses. And then you are made to plead guilty to that offense. And then the judge will now pronounce as to what to, but now that you have paid the money, you may just be asked to pay reparations to the state. So if the money that is involved is, let's say, about 100,000 Ghana cedis, you may be asked by the judge to pay reparations. You are now free to go. But before you can go, pay 100 million, 10,000 Ghana cedis to the state. And then you can go. After the person's money has been paid to him, you are also made to pay some reparations to the state. So these are some of the issues that we usually confront.
I'm not sure you want to have any issues with the law, because once you're caught, you're definitely going to be dealt with. It has been a very great time with you, lawyer Rauf Khalid, who has been my guest this evening on the CH. I want to say thank you also to you for staying on. I'm sure have learnt a thing or two out of this, and going forward we'll be very cautious of our lives. A lawyer has actually cautioned us to be very much concerned about our circles, because most of the time it is from your circle that you get into danger. So please check that. So I want to say thank you to Clinton Lodge and Restaurant for providing us this platform to bring you the CS show on NTV. As every Wednesday, if you miss the main show, do not worry, you can catch the repeat on Monday afternoon. Yes, that is at 1:30 p.m. You can catch us as well. I want to say thank you to the production team, TMP Studios, TMP Film Academy. These guys are great. Like, you guys don't know what goes behind the scenes. It is so exciting and so easy to work with them. So if you have any videographic works you want to be worked on, anything that has to do with graphics, what am I missing? Anything at all, TMP Studios, I'm sure you can reach out to them on social media. I'm sure they have some things on YouTube as well. You can check them out as well. This has been the CS Show. I am Queen Classy, your host. Do not forget to follow us on social media on Facebook at the CS Show. I want to say thank you to the entire team. Also to our director, Shahid Biggie. Thank you so much. And also to the general manager of NTV, Mr. Enoch. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, sir. And also to our CEO, Chief Adam Kokra. Thank you so much, sir. And to everyone, good night from us. We'll see you next week with another exciting episode.
Explore the innovation and imagination behind epic movie making. Apply for our training courses in filmmaking at TMP Film Academy, located at Tamale, Ward K. Our 6 months intensive training program will introduce you to directing, script writing, cinematography, photography, lighting, production sound, editing, graphic design, and many more. You will receive hands-on technical training through behind-the-scenes breakdowns, concept development, storylines, student productions, and mentorship by seasoned and experienced industry professionals. Enroll now. Pick up the admission forms for 100 Ghana cedis. For more enquiries, call or WhatsApp 050-486-8483 or 024-125-1400. TMP Film Academy, unearthing the creativity